bit more in the final thirds from these two sides. We haven't had an effort since the 5th minute of the game. Various players on the fringes a little. They want to get stuck in a little more. Fans in the crowd doing their bit for sure.
Well, it's an absolute visual masterpiece what we've seen in this World Cup. All the games have just been wonderful to see the joy and the cheer in the crowd that we've just seen, and the atmosphere around the cities has just been second to none. It's what the World Cup's all about.
So we'll get back underway here with a Panama throw. Cesar Blackman doing the honours. Antoine Semenyo trying to chase down here as Ramos moves it on. Semenyo, who's had just 6 touches of the ball so far, the joint fewest number of those on the field. Enes Nuama stepping in to get Ghana going again. Kamaldeen Sulemana likewise. Sanaya back for Ajeti. Sanaya once again. Hasn't had too many opportunities to attack, and that one has brought to a very quick halt.
That was the first time Ghana has actually had an attack against a very organized block, if you like, in the back for Panama and getting at them. And you can see why maybe a counter-attacking football might be better for them. They are pressing sort of in fits and starts, which really isn't matching what I know Carlos Queiroz is looking for as a coach. If you're going to do that, you need to do it as a unit, as a team, and they haven't done that yet.
Well, Carlos Queiroz was very calm and considered about the whole picture surrounding Ghana, the rushed nature of his appointment and therefore his swift preparation for the tournament, saying that we did what was planned. Of course, nothing is perfect in life, and we did everything that was in our hands possible to have our players ready. Simple as that.
You know, with over 40 years experience, you've seen the ups and downs of just about everything in football, but still doesn't take away from the fact it's a very difficult appointment for him.
Sanaya, who was one of those who didn't actually play in qualifying for Ghana, only made his debut for the senior side at the end of March. Hopes raised there as Sulemana was trying to gallop away from the Panama defence. Ball picked up by Ayew. Helped on by Owusu, who has it back again now. Ball played towards Nuama. Off the head of Blackman. Punching challenge between the two. The kind of tackle you perhaps don't fancy after a nasty ACL injury, but Nuama stood up well to it. Yolenchi tumbling, falling on the ball, ill-advised on the yellow card, but he does get the free kick.
Yeah, it'll be the first time Ghana's had a chance to threaten on a set piece. The referee thought about it. There's definitely a grab.
Well, a touch of Hollywood in the stands with American actor Anthony Mackie of Captain America fame enjoying this Group L clash. Perhaps just wondering what Ghana might come up with from this set play, which is being placed with purpose by Jordan Ayew.
Have a lot of big men in there, Ghana.
Floated in neatly, but not easily seen away. Martinez, as ever, just sticking the head in where many wouldn't. And his energy, his enthusiasm has won the ball back.
Yeah, brilliant work from Martin. It really is good work, and Martinez does well to close that space down. That's typical of what he can do. His work rate is brilliant, and he forces them to give up possession.
He got the ball rolling, really, Christian Martinez, in this qualifying campaign, scoring the goal in the opening qualifier all the way back in June of 2024. Barcenas trying to squeeze down the line past Senaya.
Barcenas just drifts in and around the midfield, looking for those little pockets of space. Good footballer, great vision, good way to pass when he's got some time on the ball.
Blackman just paying there for a bit of a slack first touch. Just got caught on the way through. Second World Cup finals appearance for Panama. They finished bottom of the group in 2018 in Russia, losing all 3 games. They conceded 11 goals in the process. 3-0 defeat to Belgium, a 6-1 hammering at the hands of England, before being edged out 2-1 by Tunisia. They conceded more goals than any other side. They had the 4th lowest possession in the tournament, struggling to make their mark, but already signs here today that they're a different outfit this time round.
I would agree with that. Yeah, much more comfortable than they were 8 years ago. Better side. A couple players from that 2018 team are still here. I've seen as being one of them.
And they do bring with them a fair bit of experience, as well as some youth and enthusiastic youngsters. Martinez down he goes. A lot of appeals from the stands, but in the truth, not too many from the field.
No, the referee's well placed, but there was some contact there for sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens on the replay.
For now, it's Martinez and Waterman and Barcenas. Moving it on to Rodriguez. Blackman, with options arriving in the middle. Helped out by Andrade, who took a little too close to a goalkeeper who was flattered. Maybe the challenge and the reaction dividing opinion a little out there.
It was really good goalkeeping because you know there's going to be some contact here. There's certainly one little bit of Boku, his own defender, coming in there as well. And here is this opportunity where there was an appeal from Martinez. Is there enough there? Not clear and obvious. But a tight call with a really clever run and a good ball in. It's causing Ghana some problems in behind.
It's one that you'd shout for, isn't it? But ultimately, I think maybe the referee explaining there to Christian Martinez, he never truly had full control of the ball. It goes into the category perhaps of coming together rather than a foul.
And I think the players, they appeal for it because in the interpretation of referees, it can be different, and the angles of different referees. We see with the referee cam, this gives you a really good idea a lot of times of what they're looking at and the angle that they're looking at. They need support too from the assistants.
Conversation continues. Oldenburg just justifying his thoughts on this.
If the ball fell in front of Rodriguez, you would think that would maybe have changed the look and the decision of the official. the fact that he wasn't able to reach it. Great run, like I said, and putting himself in those positions that really difficult, and as well as expecting a clatter from that big man who's you don't want to get run into.
And Christian Martinez with 4 goals for his side this season at club level. He's actually the youngest goal scorer in Columbus Crew's MLS history on his debut 10 years ago as a 19-year-old. Played a bit of football in the United States, Cincinnati, Chicago Fire, Las Vegas Lights, amongst others. Half-time is on the horizon. Panama pressing for an opening goal. Bacenas, warned by a few thousand to hurry up a little. Cross from Martinez, Atizigi out again, and once again, back it again. And up on his feet just to see the strike, which was a little wild, go high and wide from Ramos.
Great work. They have some good width, Panama, when they deliver balls in from both sides of the park. That's a good ball. The goalkeepers as well, again, has had a few challenges and a really good save in the first half here.
Well, it is physical out there, isn't it? And those who wait in the wings will look to get stuck in and they get a chance. A few of those Panama players who are waiting for their moment to shine, not quite perhaps up to speed after injury to play. Aníbal Godoy, who we saw there, and Alberto Carrasquilla as well, another one who's missed the last couple of warm-up matches with injury and therefore might just have to wait that little bit longer. Godoy, of course, Panama's most capped player of all time, 159 caps, the 36-year-old.
He's been a very good performer in Major League Soccer over the years. Well represented the league here in this World Cup.
Very swiftly out for the feet of Murillo. He's got a scurry back in now. All hands to the pump for Ghana. Martinez manages to dig the cross out. Owusu trying to welly it away. There's an awful lot going in that direction in this first half.
There has been. I mean, Panama, other than scoring, they've done a pretty good job controlling this match. And like I said, the width is very good. They just basically put men on the touchline on the other side and really relied down on their goalkeeper, Atizigi, who has been sharp in this first half and probably having a little bit more work to do than he would have thought.
What an atmosphere we have here. Regardless of the quality of football, this game was always going to be lively in the stands. And for all the right reasons.
For all the right reasons, yeah, it's been brilliant, the whole thing. City and see fans from both sets coming together and just really enjoying themselves and enjoying the occasion. That's why I said the World Cup is all about that, and it's now the games are underway. It's been delightful.
So many Ghana shirts and Panama shirts strolling around Toronto in the last couple of days. Rodriguez. Blackman in support, just gave him too much to do.
They're very good at creating these. Oh, we have a goalkeeper down. Ziggy's on the deck. Panama creating these little overloads on either side of the pitch, and they switch it so well and get support across, which creates some space for them to get balls in the box, which they've done on several occasions. And hence why maybe the goalkeeper has picked up a knock here, because he's come for 3 or 4 brilliantly well.
Well, this, of course, is where those in reserve start to wonder if it might be their chance at a World Cup. Of course, previously we've seen a goalkeeper perhaps go to ground. We've been sceptical about their welfare, and teams have rushed across to the side to have an extra tactical conversation. That's not allowed at this World Cup. The players very much have to stay in the middle of the field or in their positions.
You can see the fourth official actually doing that with a few of the players that were just wandering over toward the bench. That it's not allowed. I think it's a good rule. The angle of one of the collisions that he's had, 3 or 4.
Those clashes, the first of them 11 minutes ago, he's had a fair while to sort of see if the body is working the way he would like it to work. There has been a big conversation about goalkeeping from a Ghana point of view. Joseph Anang and Benjamin Assad are the two on the bench who would don the gloves if required. It's the 30th cap for Lawrence Ati-Ziggy tonight. Says he actually never wanted to be a keeper. He went in one day when there was no one else to do it.
Yeah, that happens sometimes with goalkeepers. Maybe with all the knocks he's had so far in this match, maybe that was a good reason why not to, but he's been brilliant so far. And there was question marks about goalkeeping for this side coming in too, so far so good.
Good challenge there to sweep the ball away by Sulemana. Gurenchi, and then the touch forward by Muama, who was taken down. Stern look towards Carlos Harvey there by the referee.
We haven't seen Panama get on the wrong side of people yet, and haven't really had that many fouls. And they've done a very good job in the way they, to stay on their feet, not committing. And really, you have to be honest, Ghana have created absolutely nothing so far in this first half, and they look a side that is struggling in some confidence.
Well, they haven't had an attempt on goal yet, Ghana, and no team has got a whole half without an attempt at this World Cup final so far. Maybe this is their moment. Muama. Well, it wasn't worth the wait, was it? An offside flag went up in any case, but it was way off target by Senea.
I think Semenyo is very impressed with that Good position from Panama. Really aware of where they are defensively. Squeezing up to the halfway line. Terrific ball. In the end, no end product.
Well, up until that moment, Antoine Semenyo had not had a touch of the ball for over 20 minutes. The 22nd minute, the last time he touched the ball. And we're now in added time, a minimum of 5 minutes at the end of this half. We did wonder whether he might perhaps play a little more centrally today than he does for Manchester City or in the past for Bournemouth, just because they might want to build the play around him, but that's not the case. Although he's started to move more central now.
And that's where I would think he would be at his best. quite honest, I think we'll see that more in the second half. We need to get him on the ball.
Well, the warm-ups continue because Lawrence Ati-Ziggy is not necessarily 100% comfortable. Half-time will be interesting. You'll get a chance to be properly, thoroughly assessed. Muhammad with Rodriguez right there with him, pestering him all the way. Now the battle resumes going in the other direction. Samaya helping out.
At this level, when you see players get into the opposition third, you see that space close down so quickly, you have to move the ball sharply than you would do at lower levels.
On from Harvey. Giovanni Ramos. He has it back again. Andrade. Cesar Blackman just started moving ahead of him, but they couldn't quite find a way through to him. Ayew. Nuama. Good strong running from Owusu. He was just about, has he managed to keep it in? No. So he's a player who will relish these finals because he was part of Ghana's World Cup squad last time around, but was unused in all the matches.
It was a little bit better from Ghana getting some bodies down into that corner to try to get a ball on the box, which they rarely, if at all, in this first half. The gaps between the forwards and the midfield sometimes is a little bit too vast. Get up in close proximity. A little disorganized, Ghana.
Semenyo, thought of a right at his back. Manchester City against Norwich City there from the English game. As Semenyo is taken out, not very happy with the challenge.
A little bit brighter though from Semenyo, giving him areas of the pitch where he can actually affect the game. But well marked. Panama has done their homework obviously on these players. Know the ones that are going to hurt you. They're uptight. This time they give away a sloppy free kick.
I wonder if this could be costly. There won't be time for much more after this free kick. Ghana have offered precious little going forward in this first half, but this is a presentable opportunity for them. Here's a packed penalty area. It's a decent delivery, and it's seen away just about. Owusu keeps it alive and can do nothing with it. And that is half-time. It brings to an end the first half in which Panama have had more of the ball and carried more of the threat, but without reward as yet. Cecilio Waterman going closest, but Lawrence Atizigi sprawling to say to deny him. I wonder what we'll see in the second half from these two. At the break, it's Ghana 0, Panama 0.
Powerade has 50% more electrolytes than the leading sports drink. And Powerade is the official sports drink of FIFA World Cup. Power your legacy with Powerade.
They say home is where the heart is, and I think that's true. It's my party, you're invited, and all your friends too. Everyone's invited, and I'll see you soon. You don't have to knock, you can come right in. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Quality protein to build muscle. Champion your recovery with Core Power, the official protein shake of FIFA World Cup.
The FIFA World Cup 2026 has finally arrived in Canada.
That's when he knew he could share the flavor of Fuse Iced Tea with every fan. Fuse Iced Tea. It's the flavor.
They say home is where the heart is, and I think that's true. It's my party, you're invited, and all your friends too. Everyone's invited, and I'll see you soon. You don't have to knock, you can come right in. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house.
This is quite a game. It'll be a free kick. Oh, what a goal! And emotion overflows.
Check. 1, 2. Can you guys hear me out there? Can you guys hear me out there? What a game. High scoring game. No, just kidding. Who's looking for Ghana to score first? Make some noise, Ghana! Where are my Panamanians out there who wants Panama to score? We love the diehard fans out here at Fan Fest 2026. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have ourselves a little dance break here for you guys. Play some 80s music, come back with more info, and we got a lot more performances coming up as well later after the game. But right now, let's hit some music, and all my people that like to dance, get your groove on right now, okay? DJ, let's go! second half of the Ghana Panama match. But before that, I want to know how you all feeling out there. We're here at the biggest party with the best energy, FIFA Fan Festival Toronto. There's something special about experiencing FIFA World Cup 2026 together, and FIFA Fan Festival Toronto is where that happens. So we want to thank you for joining us here today. Even in the rain, you know how to bring the energy, all the chants, the celebrations, the intensity. We're talking about the real diehard fans. Stay tuned after the game for today's crowd recap. The Daily Fan Cam, super powered by OPG. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow with another stellar lineup for you. We've got matches from Switzerland and Bosnia and Herzegovina. We also have Mexico taking on Korea, and Qatar plays against Canada tomorrow. And it's all screening right here live at the FIFA Fan Festival Toronto stage. We'll also have an incredible music from the Brokes. We got Hanvi Nanta and a very special performance from Dwayne Gretzky. Make sure you come back to join us right here. Up next, DJ Devo D Live will be in the booth. And we have a second half right now. Ghana, I said Ghana versus Panama match. Make sure you get up safe. Let's go.
FIFA World Cup finals. We've seen doubles for Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland and Harry Kane, and a first hat-trick at the World Cup finals for Lionel Messi. This Toronto evening provides an opportunity for some of those less well-known around the world perhaps to join the giants of the game in the headlines. Certainly somebody needs to make some headlines in this game for these two sides. You'd think we need to see a winner, some might argue, because of the quality of the other two teams in this group. Ghana starting as they mean to go on after a relatively sleepy first half from their point of view.
Yeah, Panama was much sharper in all areas. Winning the second balls, winning the first. Some lively individuals. Martinez, Rodriguez, excellent, back in the wide positions, crosses in the box. And the goalkeeper, in his 50th appearance, Mascalez, had very little to do with anything.
Benjamin Asare we saw there in the Ghana goal for the second 45 minutes. And having watched that first half, he'll know physically what to expect perhaps as that ball is thrust into the box by those in Panama red. The oncoming goalkeeper is the only home-based player selected in Ghana's squad for these World Cup finals, and he knows how painful literally and mentally injury can be, having missed 18 months of football a few years back with a broken leg. Some doctors in fact even told him that he might want to just give football up altogether, and here he is now at a World Cup.
Yeah, he's still probably trying to figure out whether it's the pressure is what he's feeling or whether it's just the anticipation and the excitement and all these different things together in a very high pressure situation for a goalkeeper, of course, being the last man in defense.
5 clean sheets in 6 World Cup qualifying games as well, so he's got the confidence of knowing he's hard to beat behind him as Ghana look to launch the first meaningful attack of this second half. Sulemana helping it on its way in the middle. It's well attacked, but it's straight at Orlando Mosquera.
First effort at goal for Ghana on that occasion. Decent ball in. Not a ton of pace on it. Hard to get some power on the header. Keeper saves it comfortably.
Jonas Ajeti, who is yet to score on the international scene. Albeit with his career in its infancy really at 22 years of age. Comes the cross, which is guided away by Mensah. He He played once at the last World Cup. He assisted Mohamed Kudus' winning goal in the group stage victory over South Korea. Morijo with the throw towards Waterman. He looked for Martinez, and that's given against him by the official on this near side.
The assistant spotted a handball, I believe, just jumped up and hit his hand, gained an advantage from it. Good high line for Panama defensively. They know the difficulties they would have if they were sitting deeper. Those headers will be coming in from a lot closer. Jetty gets his effort on target. Escara does very well just gathering that simply.
Well, it'll be a painful watch for him in the second half. Lawrence Atizigi, having been involved right in the middle of the heat of the battle at times in that first half. From his point of view, from his country's point of view, and from just a human point of view, you hope that he's okay to carry on as the tournament continues. Ghana take on England next in Boston. And here they go looking for something. An optimistic hit from Yerenchi. With the greatest respect to him, they perhaps wouldn't have wanted that kind of opportunity to fall his way. Not a regular goal scorer by any means.
No, and you know, it was a good opportunity too. Certainly a half chance to get something on target, but that has failed Ghana again.
We are seeing more though from those in yellow at the start of this second half than we saw in the first. Ayew keeping Martinez at arm's length. Ajeti. Semenyo very much front and centre here as the attack unfolds, although there's far too much on that for him. Sulemana. 3 to look for in the middle if he can wriggle free, which he can't. Nicely done by Morijo.
Brilliant defending. Frustrating the wide players for Ghana.
Martinez moved on eventually to Waterman by Carlos Harvey. Needs a bit of support and it's arriving now. Waterman waits in the middle. Blackman might fancy a go. Moved on by Bacenas. Martinez into the mix. All promising from a Panama point of view.
Yeah, excellent interchanging of positions and some vision there. You can tell these players are well rehearsed and played an awful lot of football together, just lacking a finished product.
Harvey wants the ball back, he gets it for Bacenas. Just trying to buy that half a yard. Rodriguez fizzes that one across. Jetty made sure that it didn't fall to somebody in red who was ready to pounce.
Again, wide play, very good. Overloading, good ball into the box. Just Waterman just a little bit ahead of him, couldn't get something on him. Goalkeeper. Not a great call for his defense there.
Rodriguez for Martinez, for Rodriguez. Asare has to come and does. An authoritative punch which sets Ghana on their way. Jordan Ayew. Surrounded, overpowered, and Panama start again. vocal encouragement swirling around the ground from fans on both sides of the fence. Rodriguez. That's rather dig that out for Waterman, but had to stay strong with Ajeti at his back. Semenyo trying to make it his. Sulemana waited for Mensah to join in. Well, that moved a fair bit in the air and certainly had Mosquera concerned. We've had 4 attempts in this second half, which is already as many as we saw in the whole of the first. We've only been playing 9 minutes since the restart.
Yeah, a little deflection you can see on that cross there. Mosquera wasn't exactly comfortable with that. Wasn't sure it was around himself. But nobody took a chance for Ghana to get on the end of it.
Well, you could see for a moment there the nerves took hold until the big screen came into sight. It is the kind of game where we either have seen or will see the real mixture of emotions. Some in the crowd so proud of their country being here that maybe they get lost in the moment. Don't necessarily shout as loud as they might. Some forget all of that and just give it everything.
For these players, they can't get caught in the moment, of course. Every loose ball, every throw-in, every competitive header that needs to be absolutely bang on, with the group stage being 3 games and with this game being so important to these two sides, with this group being so strong with Croatia and England in it.
As I mentioned, Ghana go to Boston to take on England next. Panama stay here in Toronto to face Croatia. And then it's New Jersey for Panama against England and Philadelphia for Ghana against Croatia. Here go Panama. Rodriguez on the ground. Blackman on the ball momentarily. And a goal kick for Ghana is the end result. Movement for Ghana here, and a couple of changes to be made by Carlos Queiroz. Ernest Nuama, who was lively in those early exchanges, understandably withdrawn early in the game in the second half after such a long layoff for him. Brandon Thomas Asante emerges. He's had a wonderful season with Coventry City in the English second tier, winning promotion to the Premier League. Kamaldeen Sulemana also leaving the field, with Abdul Fatawu of Leicester City replacing him. That's going to harmlessly bounce away. Fatawu certainly has the eye for the spectacular, can so often produce. Samoa Joe will just be hoping that Ghana can be a little bit more threatening in the second half. How they'd love to have a full form Asamoah Gyan in their side today.
Yeah, You know, and then you just look at these individuals they do have up top. Jornai, who we know scores well at international level and has been sharp, and Semenyo as well. They only need a second, so Panama will have to be aware of that opportunity, and it's just in a flash, one chance, you find yourself behind.
Rodriguez up against Ajeti. Still there for Rodriguez, or maybe for Waterman. Off the head of Ajeti. Oh, it's Martinez here! Well, from his point of view, the wrong side of the net. But just for a moment, quite a few thought that was the opener.
They certainly did, and it was close. It just gets out away from him, and first touch was off, closed down so quickly. He's reaching forward a little bit, trying to get it on target, but he can't quite get it up high into the top corner, near post. Some fans thought it was in. It was so close.
For those in the stands, it was in until it wasn't.
That's right.
And in truth, it never was. Brandon Thomas Asante down, but no free kick forthcoming. Not that long ago, he was playing in the English non-league system. Now here he is at a World Cup finals. Had a very swift rise up the ranks in the English Football League, the EFL. Now with the Premier League beckoning for he and Coventry City. Here he is again, showing why he's been such a hot property. A lovely touch.
Yeah, he's lively. Yeah, had a great season under Frank Lampard, my old teammate at Coventry City, who's had a really good year winning the championship and heading to the Premier League once more.
So Azarias Londoño there, who is going to be introduced in a moment. Centre forward waiting to be introduced. Here come Ghana. Oh, that could have gone anywhere. Had to be helped behind by Mosquera after the galloping run from Senea. Listen to that noise, that Ghanaian excitement for a corner and a promising position. Plenty to look for in the middle, and somehow it missed everyone. Jonas Ajeti looked favourite to glance that one goalwards in the air. And so the changes. Cecilio Waterman, the veteran frontman, is the first to make way. Jose Fajardo, his replacement, and the energetic Christian Martinez also makes way for Azarias Londoño. Two centre forwards brought onto the field. An attacking move by Panama to make this game their own.
Well, I think Thomas Christensen certainly understands the importance of this, as we've talked about, to get a result, and 3 points is so important. They've had the most of the play, just lacked that little bit of cutting edge in the final third. Needs to be better, fresh legs. We saw that similar type of thing with Canada against Bosnia when they put in attacking players and really went for it in the second half. And Panama seems to be doing the same here. We'll see how it works out for them.
Ball forward for Murillo. Rondonio. Now Blackman trying to bend well. Nassare saw it all the way into the gloves.
Yeah, the goalkeeper sees that all the way, and it's very simple for him.
And now his long kick upfield is looking to set Jordan Ayew clear. Up against Cordoba. Lovely little flick, which might set Ghana on their way. Just a case of, can anyone actually control the ball? It was sliding around in there for Fatawu in particular.
There's just no time or space on the ball. It comes in there and everybody closes down incredibly quickly. We've seen that on both sides. Neither attackers on either side have been able to get that half yard to get a chance at goal. Other than the early one we saw, it was well saved by the goalkeeper, Ziggy, who was injured.
Ryan tosses into and last-ditch defending prevents an almost certain Ghana opener.
I got to admit, I thought Ramos got caught on the wrong side. He got a little bit ball watching, comes right across the face, and he does just enough to get in front of Jordan Ayew. Good clearance in the end. A split second, a little bit further in front, Ayew would have had a top in.
Small margins. That's what World Cup matches are often all about. And it's got those of a Ghanaian persuasion believing here. Abdul Fatawu on corner duty. Pretty much everyone else racing in onto it. It's Semenyo's touch. Optimistic penalty shout perhaps. And coming together on Opoku. He remains down. Jordan Ayew. Semenyo. Enough players in red back to put up the shutters.
Did much better from Ghana. They picked up the pace a little bit. Semenyo down the center with Ayew making trouble for these center backs. The substitutes have made a difference as well for Ghana, and the shape looks much better for them. Can Panama deal with it?
Rondonio teeing it up maybe. Rodriguez just wanted that extra touch. And now Fatawu, it's a you attack, we attack game all of a sudden. Ramos races forward. Might fancy it here. He does! Well. That would have been quite the moment for the centre-half.
No kidding, it was absolutely brilliant. Here's a look at what the appeal from Ghana was in the penalty box. Not an awful lot there. I have a feeling he was looking for it.
And that is the final action before we take a hydration break here in Toronto. So goalless here, but not for the want of trying from both sides since the restart.
Yeah, it looks better for Ghana. I'd like to see the reply from them. Carlos Players making a couple of very good substitutions that have made certainly some positive strides in this match as well, and created a couple chances, and Panama's got to be a little bit aware as they come back into this game. Panama also the oldest squad in the tournament, so at 30 years of age on average, we continue to see the pace that they played at. I'm sure this hydration break came at a very good time for them.
Just a chance to get some all-important words across for both coaches as both sides take on extra fluids. We've seen more from Ghana, far more in this second half. And Jordan Ayew will perhaps still be thinking how on earth he didn't tap that one in.
Yeah, it was really good defending in the end. Like I said, he got kind of beat on the inside. It looked as though he had a bit of space. The ball just not quite in front of him to be able to get that tap in. Some of the defending in this match has been good. You can't get away from it. Both sides have been solid defensively. We haven't seen that many clear-cut opportunities.
And that's why we are as we are. Goalless so far. But with both sides very much looking for that breakthrough now, looking for those 3 points, which could mean so much in this group. No goals, but positivity abounds in Toronto.
And we thought that maybe that could be the case. You know, that you see a little bit cagey in the first parts of the game, and playing not to lose, if you like, and then later parts of the game actually going for it. And we've seen that with the substitutions, and it appears that both teams are going for 3.
The night is falling in Toronto. It's just gone 8:30 local time here. So many around the stadium settling in for an evening of celebration if their side can do something here to make the difference. Some out there in yellow still debating the contact on Jerome Opoku in the penalty area. But Antoine Semenyo seems to be discussing with Swedish referee Glenn Nyberg. Both sides are good to go again. Benjamin Asare will start the second half of this second half, if you like, with a goal kick. Ghana, incidentally, have never played out a goalless draw in their World Cup history. They have kept a couple of clean sheets in their 15 matches played at the World Cup. Here's Semenyo, bit of room, and Mosquera plunges upon the ball.
He's working his way into this match more and more as we move along here, and with his quality, like I said before, it only takes a split second.
Greg, can you tell me if you guys are showing the Colombia
top.
game here tonight?
Sorry?
Are you guys showing the Colombia game at 10? No, not. Okay.
Yeah.
They have to go back a fair way for those 2 Ghana clean sheets, incidentally. 2-0 win against Czechia in 2006, a 1-0 victory against Serbia in 2010. Valenci's ball on towards Senea. Lots of coming together, which does lead to a Ghana free kick and a yellow card for Cesar Blackman.
Yeah, Blackman gets beat here, and you can see that he's really trying hard to keep up the pace, but can't do so, and way too much contact, pulling, grabbing, and officials all over that. And it's a dangerous spot for Ghana here again, who delivered some decent balls of set pieces in the second half and are threatening more and more.
Well, that's what a fit and firing Abdul Fatawu can do. And he's fresh-legged, of course, compared to most out there. And he goes towards Ajeti, who leapt really well, but didn't quite get above it enough.
That's his second really good look in this half. Off set pieces, he's under some pressure, trying to adjust. Just can't quite get it on the target.
The crowd is serenading Ismail Diaz, who's going to be coming on shortly for Panama. Cross to Murillo here. 3 in red in the middle. Trying to tiptoe his way past Mensah. He just did enough to stand in his way. And now the change will be made, and it's going to be the end for Jose Luis Rodriguez. He turns 28 in 3 days' time. The mainstay at the 2018 World Cup. But for now, his race is run today. It's another attacking change. It's another attacker on the field. Ismail Diaz, who won the Golden Boot as top scorer at the Gold Cup last year. 6 goals, twice as many as anyone else in the tournament. Understandably named in the team of the tournament. Let's see what he can produce in the final quarter of an hour or so here. Jordan Ayew has plenty in red for company. A really good battle between the two. And Bacenas told to return the ball to Murillo for the free kick.
It's interesting because you see those changes for Panama, but then you have Ghana who's actually putting bodies forward like we didn't see in the first, 70 minutes of this match, really. 60 minutes at least. Way more adventurous. And then you got Panama that are also, with their substitutes, looking to spring something and get some fresh legs going in the offensive zone, which they've lacked.
Here's Diaz. Only just on. Trying to find room to either release a strike or release a colleague. Murillo. Back towards Carlos Harvey. Bacenas. Emphatically seen away. Poku. Into the mix. And plucked out of the sky. And trying every which way to put pressure on Ghana there, Panama.
Yeah, they're doing so, and the goalkeeper has come in here in the second half, obviously for the injured goalkeeper, Ziggy, in the first half, and he's actually done a fine job. Panama really haven't put him under that much pressure, not what we saw in the first half.
Foul by Antoine Semenyo.
Hey FIFA Fan Festival. Hey FIFA Fan Festival, don't forget to stick around after this match for an amazing DJ set from DJ Devo D live immediately following this match.
That one goalwards. Because with England and Croatia to come for both of these nations, a win here could be oh so valuable and pivotal to seeing them head through to the knockout stages. That, of course, is without wanting to disregard the fact that they could well get something out of the games against Croatia and England. You never know, of course, in football or indeed in World Cup football.
Exactly. No, what we've seen in this tournament so far, we've already seen some upsets. It's teams that have done very well picking up important draws. And you just never know. But this is still very important, I think, for one of these sides to get 3 points. I don't think a draw really does either one of them all that good, considering the strength of those other two sides in the group.
Elisha Owusu is heading off here to be replaced by Kwasi Sibo. That's been a little bit of a sense of an audition tonight in the last couple of games for that central midfield role for Ghana. Halid Yarenchi, of course, is key in there tonight, albeit he picked up an early yellow card and has certainly behaved himself very well since. Interesting that the Panama players introduced have been attacking players, whereas Ghana are perhaps introduced players to bolster the midfield to let others rotate into the attacking position.
That's exactly it. Yeah, you're right, David. That's exactly what they've done, and it actually has worked as well, with quite effect, being much more dangerous in the second half than they were in the first.
Panama here looking to press and then having to retreat. Just over 10 minutes to play, plus whatever is added on. Watched very closely indeed, understandably so. Londoño keeping an eye. We've only had one goalless draw at this World Cup final so far. The wonderful result for Cabo Verde up against the much fancied Spanish side. So far it's been a tournament full of intrigue, full of headlines, full of wonderful goals. A touch under 43,000 here in Toronto tonight to witness these sides going head to head, looking for that advantage in the final moments. Ayu and Brandon Thomas Asante in the middle, waiting for the cross here from Fatawu, with Barcenas across to slow him down.
The fact that Ghana had more players pushing the defenders of Panama and accommodating those defenders, almost pushing them into a back five into the defensive zone, whereas before they could do it with three, and only Ayu was really the one that was threatening, or the one that was a focal point, and they dealt with that brilliantly well. So the changes have worked. The threat is there for Ghana as it wasn't before.
Juvenci having a real element of energy there, attacking from deep. Vandenberg here just reminding the players of their responsibilities time-wise with these throw-ins. If you don't release the ball within 5 seconds, it goes to the other team. And at this time in a game that's been so tight, that kind of turnover could be costly. Panama's turn to attack. Mensah though watching it and winning it back. Sibo turns 28 in just a little over a week. Trying to play it into the path of Mensah. Guerenchi's challenge, advantage played, and there's movement here from Harvey. And Ghana were well stopped at the back.
Harvey needed to show a little bit of patience there. We didn't have an awful lot of support, and no reason and rush to hurry that pass into the 18. Which Ghana just gobbled up.
That's just a great illustration of how this game has ebbed and flowed, one way and then the other. Semenyo trying to turn defence into attack. We're in a portion of a match where Ghana often come to the fore during their FIFA World Cup journeys down through the years. They've scored 4 goals in the last 10 minutes of matches. Guerenchi, Sibo, Gideon Mensah. Sibo again. Showed it to Fajardo and then whipped it away. Fatawu unable to find a way past Blackman. Ben Lieberg is losing patience with Ghana, who are taking their time with these throw-ins. Remember, Panama heading for a clean sheet here as it stands. They conceded 11 goals in 3 games in their last World Cup finals appearance 8 years ago. Gordon Ayew stopped in his tracks by Ramos. Las just that calm, composed figure in the middle of the park who just knits it all together. Jetty underneath that one. Sibo as well on the swivel was Diaz. Proper gambling territory now, aren't we? 5 minutes to play. You have a point in your hand. Do you risk turning it into 3, or do you hold it tightly?
Well, at this point, it looks like Ghana is more likely to score. We couldn't say that in the first half. Much better substitutes for Panama. So far, haven't had an awful lot of effect on the match in a positive manner. I'm really not sure what the depth of them is as well. I mean, Rodriguez and Martinez were excellent for the spell that they were on. Great energy, created some opportunities. But they are the oldest squad in the tournament, so they put in quite a shift in the Lagos.
Fatawa couldn't quite escape. Panama go again. Yerenchi, who was on the ground a moment ago, is back up and scrapping for it once again. He was booked after 16 minutes. So 70 minutes on, he's done well to keep a lid on things. On from Barcenas. Murillo. Plenty waiting for the cross. Barcenas for the pullback. And it was always likely to sail over the top. Ghana will make a final change. Gordon Ayew. There's the player to come off. Prince Aida, who wasn't involved in qualification. Actually yet to win in his 5 previous caps for Ghana, 4 defeats and a draw. A draw coming in that final warm-up game in Wales. On from Barcenas. Diaz. Barcenas once again. 10 behind the ball in Ghana colours. Yerenchi had it and lost it. Brandon Thomas Asante's after it here. He can travel with it, by the way. Tried to go through a gap that closed upon him. The galloping run made by Cordoba. Senas moves it on. Repelled once again by Ghana. As we close in on the 90th minute. comes as far as Harvey, who was beaten to the punch by Semenyo. And now what of the counter, I wonder? Here is Semenyo. Brandon Thomas-Asante charging through. Is this the moment for Ghana? Well, the flag will go up belatedly. He did look to have gone a little soon. But in the end, it all became a little irrelevant because he couldn't finish.
Exactly. I thought he was offside with the first look at it as well, but the official and the assistant are going to keep that flag down because it was unnecessary to put it up. There it is there. Just a half a step. Thomas-Asante in on the goalkeeper. Mascara does a good job. Good shape. Squaring up to it. Brilliantly done. But a good strong run. There was a potential foul that they were looking for. Thomas-Asante, it wasn't given. Panama broke away. And unfortunately for Panama, they could not get an end product.
Well, in the final moments, Hannibal Godoy, Panama's most capped player of all time, gets his 160th international appearance. He will be part of this Panama effort in added time. We're going to have at least 6 minutes of that. Plenty of time to win a game of football, or indeed to lose it.
Neither side are settling for it, that's for sure, which is kind of nice from a neutral's point of view.
Forward for Panama. Barcenas, he will settle for the corner. The vast majority of the outfield players piling into that penalty area. Attack against defence for a moment in isolation here. And it's well seen away. No foul is the verdict. So on go Ghana.
To say the two centre backs for Ghana have been brilliant. Ajeti and Opoku just eating up everything that's coming into the box. You don't risk whipping in a low trajectory or you want to gulp it up.
Brandon Thomas-Asante to Abdul Fattawu. Panama swiftly back into position. An all-important header away with Brandon Thomas-Asante ready to pounce on that. It was Godoy who was right in the thick of it. Diaz. Ghana go again with Mensah, who now wears the armband after the departure of Jordan Ayew. Adu trying to find a gap. There aren't many out there at the moment. There is Godoy. Back to Barcenas, who always seems to be free, ready to collect possession. Diaz, nicely worked. The cross is overcooked. Urenchik, Semenyo, poking it forward for Ghana and Thomas Asante, who skips away from quarterback. Ghana could be in business! Scoring your first competitive international goal at the World Cup finals in the last moments of a game. Magic. He's found the back of the net in the friendly against Wales in Cardiff not long ago, but he has put Panama to the floor here. He put so much into this game, but it looks like it will be defeat again at the World Cup for those in red. We have a stoppage here because the shirt needs to be changed by the goal scorer. And we spoke earlier on about how well he had teetered along the tightrope for so long after that early yellow card. And his name's in the book for a different reason now.
Now, who would have thought that? Out of all the likely scorers, even if probably picked him, but now Ghana, they've got themselves in a very good position, but Panama is going to be desperate here for throwing bodies forward. The referee's not happy with the start.
Well, they were ready to launch it there, Panama, but a few had just overstepped the line. It's very simple. There are few seconds to go, so all those in red have to dart forward and hope for something to fall their way here. It's all about defence for Ghana. 6 added minutes as a minimum. We've played 7. There won't be too long left. Well, that is a foul in Panama's favour. And Orlando Mosquera, the goalkeeper, is screaming at the bench, asking to be allowed forward.
He's been given the all clear. Here he comes.
Good old-fashioned tussle for the ball, which goes the way of those in red.
Silly foul to give away in that dangerous area there. He didn't really need to do it. It was unnecessary. Just stay goal side and stand him up.
It's now or never for Panama. In for Barcelos Mosquera. And Tempest Flares. Contact is made with the goalkeeper. It was there for them there. And it's a chance that just disappears from their grasp as a few start to lose their heads. thrust in the air towards Carlos Harvey, I think.
What a moment. What a moment it was. And nearly went to goalkeeper, gets a touch on it, heads it down to Diaz. Tough to get a lot of power on it for the header from that distance, and then a little bit of afters afterwards. It's a frustration out there, and the goalkeeper's still on the deck.
And he will need treatment, so the game will continue. And the discussions, if we can call them that, are continuing in the centre circle. The referee going to check on the goalkeeper's welfare, and the two assistants having to dart into the middle to just calm a few.
Here's another look at it. The header from Mosquera. Hit to Diaz. There's not a lot there. They're going to complain about that. There wasn't an awful lot there. A little kick out, of course. The goalkeeper's not going to care. He's got that ball in his arms, safe. And he's going to take his time coming to his feet.
Of course, Ghana will be protected with the goalkeeper. Bearing in mind they've already lost one to injury this evening. But it's remarkable how, when you send an opposition goalkeeper forward for a set piece, how people can just lose their markers, lose their bearings, and sometimes lose a lead.
Yeah, you know, it is distracting because you work so hard on set pieces and who you're marking up, who you're picking up, and then the goalkeeper comes into the fray, and then you don't know who's going to actually mark him, and how often you see a goalkeeper get a free header. You do see that a lot, and he does a good job knocking that back into Diaz, which he can't quite finish off. Christensen's going to be disappointed. When you have that pressure that they had in the first half, you've got to take your chances. You've got to get through the door, and they failed to do so, and Ghana just kind of built into the game as it went on. With some very good substitutions by a very experienced coach, Carlos Perez.
And there's that spicy edge to this game now. The time still ticking. There's still an opportunity maybe for Panama here. And they thrust it into the area. Mensa will see that out. And that is it. Late wins.
Good. Congratulations to Ghana on an incredible match. FIFA Fan Festival, who is ready to dance following that incredible match? We've got DJ Devo D live up in just a minute, right after this.